Boom! How's it going, guys? Token Vaping. So today's juice review is another flavor in an ongoing line that I'm working into my video rotations. As you all know, I am trying to tone down the amount of time each video takes. It is hard to do with some if I'm able to do one on a device or things like that, because there is a bit more information involved. But as far as for flavors, I'm trying to shorten the amount of time each video is. So I'm trying to devote a video per flavor so that you know better about a specific flavor. However, it does tend to take me a little bit longer to get through whatever flavors I'm able to acquire from different companies. So if they have multiple flavors in their line and I'm humbled enough to get them, or privileged enough, sorry, I am humbled by it, but if I'm privileged enough to get them, it does tend to take me a little bit longer to get through that. So it does stretch out the amount of time it takes me to get through each company, but I feel it's a better and more respectful way to show the attention and respect for their flavors if they're taking the time to allow me to do reviews on more than one flavor. So with that, the company that I'm working on today is Incognito Vapors. And if you've seen my previous video, they have two lines. They came out with a new one. I have done 2 videos for that line as well, but this is their original line of Incognito Vapors. And this one, as I've said in my previous video for their first flavor that I did, I like the tagline on this because it's basically called the most known unknown. And it's a play on words, obviously, but basically they put the time in, the effort, and the legwork in to meet, you know, the people that they sell their products through. The different shops, the different vapors, people here and there, just everywhere about. So more people know about them than one might realize, but they're not plastered all over every single signboard, every single media site. They are on Instagram, and they do have a Facebook, but you know, they devote more of their time and effort into getting their line into a shop, getting people to try their flavors, getting people to know about them and a bit about what they provide and why they do what they do behind the scenes, than worry about how many pictures of theirs that you've seen and not know anything about them. So it really is pretty cool about that. Hats off to that for Incognito Vapors. These other bottles, as I stated in the last video, these are pretty simple. You know, there's not a huge flashy logo on it. It's the name of the company, the name of the flavor, their tagline. It does have their nicotine level on the side. Now this one is a 0, a 1.5, a 3, and a 6. For me it's a 3, obviously. But again, you know, more and more juice companies are starting to not focus so much on how much nicotine they can squeeze into their juices. It's more about the enjoyment of the flavor, the enjoyment of the vape, the quality of the vape, to make you want to vape it, not, you know, basically how much nicotine you can get out of it. So it is pretty cool, you know, shifting the focus of what's, you know, it's, to me, it's not as important. Now, obviously I do vape nicotine, but that's not the focus of why I vape. So it's just that they're trying to be more accommodating, but also trying to promote the better side alternative of vaping. They're trying to promote the better side of vaping as an alternative. Sorry, I just kind of trying to think faster than I'm speaking. So as you can see here, it is a black coated bottle, and that's just to keep out you know, sunlight, making sure that the juice doesn't overly steep faster than it's supposed to make sure that the mixture stays the way it should for as long as possible. It is safety sealed on the top, so it is a first vape, first review as always. And it is going to be going on a fresh wick of cotton right here, which as always is my Texas Tough Cotton. Just works really well for me. I like it. It holds up well under pressure, especially if you're using the same flavor. And I really like the fact that it doesn't have a lot of cotton taste to it. On a lot of flavors, depending on how heavy a flavor it is, you know, you basically get full flavor right off the bat, and that's really impressive for cotton. So I'll put the link for that in the comment box as well. Now, as I said, these guys are on Facebook and they are on Instagram. They don't have a specific website, but again, that's not their focus. It's not something they feel that they have to have, you know, to get what they need across for their flavor line. They are Midwest-based primarily. They are trying to branch out further. So if you are outside the Midwest, you know, the Ohio area, part of the United States, you know, and you do happen to see this or you see them on Instagram, definitely reach out to them. It never hurts to spread the love out further, and, you know, and helping them helps you as well, because then you come up with a more unique line that's not common in the area, so you can become one of the first shops to carry them. So it definitely works both ways. Now, this one is called Snowden. And this is supposed to be a creamy blend of milk, vanilla, and hints of cinnamon, just like your favorite horchata. Now, horchata, obviously, it's more just the drink, but there is a bunch of other stuff that goes into it. Some has like crushed up almonds with cinnamon and like an almond milk style. Others are in the milk, vanilla, cinnamon range right there. But the gist of it primarily is there. So this is basically just meant to take on the feel of the flavor, not so much be a specific version of it, so to speak. Definitely smell the vanilla. And it does have a creaminess. The very tail end of it kind of has a slight bit of cinnamon. It's more the flavoring of the cinnamon, not like the candy cinnamon, which I'm not a fan of at all. Like the fiery hots and things like that type cinnamon flavor. This is cinnamon like you would use in like cooking and something like that. So it definitely has the more solid, mellow smell of it. Like I said, the vanilla is the primary flavor that I did smell. So hopefully we will get, this is supposed to be a creamier milk-based flavor. So I'm hoping that's what comes out of this. Go ahead and do a quick pre-burn on that. Get the juice flowing. Although, like I said, it does not take a whole lot. And now it is a thicker based liquid. I do apologize. I meant to reach out to them and find out what it was exactly. I will find out for sure and update the video comment box. I guessed it at about an 80-20 roughly, just depending on the thickness of this. They assured me, and they just for what they use when they sample them at shows and conventions and stuff like that, it works fine in tanks no matter the size of the tank. It doesn't have to be the big beefy tanks to make sure that it flows through. They said it works just fine on the smaller size tanks as well. So they've made the juice to be accommodating for all styles of vaping. So don't feel like because you use like a single coil tank that this is going to be too much for that tank. It works fine in everything. I just prefer drippers, obviously, as most everyday vapors do. I do use a tank here or there if I need to, but it does work fine in both. So as you're seeing here, I'm vaping at 75 watts. I just capped up, and this is Snowden from Incognito Vapors. So as you can see, the clouds are definitely dense, so that's why I definitely feel that it is a thicker VG mix. And that's not to say that you can't get that with less VG and just know the mixture properly, but when you go the thicker VG style flavors, you're most definitely expecting to get decent cloud production out of that, which this definitely does. And they are dense and solid too. Absolutely no throat hit, and I was impressed with that on all the flavors that I've tried with them so far. Very, very smooth, very, very hearty based vape, but nothing on the throat. No tickle, no nothing. And that's even coming off of the first vape on fresh cotton. So that's definitely impressive no matter what the flavor is, actually. Now, as far as for the flavor, if you've ever had a horchata, this is definitely going to be reminiscent of it. Now, like I said, there are different variations to how the drink is made, so it's not meant to be any one specific version. It's just supposed to be made in the style of. So they basically went with the more simpler flavors that are used throughout those type of drinks. The milk and the vanilla definitely keep this a very smooth, creamy based vape, but it's not like a heavy custard, but it definitely has a smooth creaminess to that. So if you like that type of flavor, which is more of my vaping style, everybody's different though. You know, it's not going to appease everybody, but if you do like the milkier or the creamier base flavors without going super heavy into the custard or heavy dessert range, this definitely is a nice mid-range flavor for that. Now the cinnamon, you definitely do taste. I taste it a lot more than I did when I smelled it. I'm not a big fan of the cinnamon flavor when it's a strong flavor, just in general, but that's me. So this is something I could definitely vape. I just don't think I could vape this. This wouldn't be my choice for an all-day vape just because the cinnamon part would be a little strong. Now, before anybody misunderstands that, it is not potent, and it's not that when you vape it, it's going to be straight cinnamon. It just is more cinnamon than I prefer or that I'm used to when I'm tasting something that has cinnamon in it. It does also have a little bit more of a potency as opposed to like if you have an apple pie or something like that that has cinnamon in that, you get a very slight tinge of cinnamon. This is more of a direct, like if you just took a tiny little dab of cinnamon powder and then just tasted it, it kind of has a little bit of a kick like that, just not that extreme up front. It's just between the milk, vanilla, and the cinnamon. The cinnamon is the stronger flavor of the three, so it is pronounced a bit more in the flavor. Regardless, overall, if you do like something creamier based, if you do like something a smoother vape, but you're not wanting something superly heavy as in the dessert style range, as I was pointing out, and you even, especially if you are a horchata fan, but even if you've never tried that type of drink, it never hurts to try something new. You know, trying something new once going outside your safety box is never a bad thing, or usually is not a bad thing. Let me put it that way. But if you're trying to open up your taste palette and try new things, try different things, but you don't want to go super extreme and go completely night and day from what you vape. Like I said, this is a very nice medium. It's not too much of anything, but it's just enough of a difference as to what most people vape that I know of. So it definitely never hurts either way to try something different, but this line is pretty solid across the board, just in general. And these are a great group of guys. They're always responsive. You can reach out to them by email. You can go to their Facebook page. I will put that link in the comment box. You can also check them out on Instagram as well. Incognito Vapors, thank you so very much for the continued opportunity and privilege to preview your line. It is a huge honor on my end, and you guys have been making some rock solid flavor so far that I can tell. As always, though, guys, I'm Token Vaping. I'm here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Pinterest. Anything that I can do to help further enhance your vaping experience and make it more enjoyable for you, it's the only reason why I do this. So reach out to me, hit me up if there's anything specific that you're looking for, wanting to know, a particular video that you're looking to see. I'll do everything in my power to make that happen. But until next time, guys, always remember, morning, noon, night, no matter what it is, what time of day it is, always truly love yourself. Vape on, vape strong. Have a good one.